The story begins, a businessman during the day and an avid gamer at night. His reckless decisions eventually lead to his demise from a heart attack. Upon awakening, he questions if he's in a hospital, noticing the antiquated room and a peculiar flying dog. To his astonishment, he discovers he has been reincarnated as a baby named Ars. As he grows to 3 years old, Ars realizes the truth of his death and new life. Eager to learn about this magical world, he delves into reading, writing, and understanding the Summer Fourth Empire. Living in the noble Levant family's estate in Lamberg, Ars is thrilled by the existence of magic, akin to a video game. Our chef believes that being reincarnated is the best thing that has happened to him in the past 3 years. Another thing that has become clear to us is that he possesses a unique power called appraisal. When he goes to watch soldiers fight, they admire how often he comes to see them. He reveals to us that he used this ability on a soldier named Milas and discovered that he has a high aptitude as an archer. Milas is surprised that our chef knows his name and wonders if he has ever used a bow before. Milas prefers fighting opponents at close range and wouldn't be caught dead using a bow. Our chef doesn't disclose his ability to anyone, but simply tells Milas that he has a feeling he would be good with a bow. He convinces Milas to trust him and give it a try, even though Milas has never shot a bow before. The others recommend that he get closer to the target, but our chef asks him to try from a distance. Everyone is shocked when Milas hits the target. Everyone is amazed by Milas' repeated success, thinking it was just beginner's luck. They suggest that he becomes an archer, wondering how Ars knew he would be good with a bow. AR just credits his instincts. Ars decides to hide his ability, doubting that anyone would believe he can see numbers representing abilities and aptitudes. Although Ars' ability is real, he can't use it on himself for some reason. That night, Ars has dinner with his father Raven, whom he admits to being kind of scared of because he always looks angry. Ars uses his ability on him and explains how amazing he is, as his father rose from being a farmer to a noble using his martial prowess. Raven, having heard about Ars using his instincts earlier, wants him to work hard on improving them. Ars will be the lord of the land one day, and the ability to discern the gifts of others will greatly help him. After hearing this, Ars decides to learn more about the Empire, only to discover the difficult road ahead. The rulers of the Summer Fourth Empire are corrupt, and peasant revolts are erupting. The nation is in turmoil everywhere, and if nothing changes, the Empire will collapse, leading to widespread war. Ars fears that as Lord, he will have to lead troops into battle. He questions his ability to protect Lamberg, but he desperately wants to, as the people have been so kind to him. Remembering his father's words about discerning gifts, Ars gets an idea. He heads into town to use his appraisal ability on people, but it tires out his eyes. A poor kid gets kicked out of a shop, looking different from the locals. Some lady warns her child to stay away from what they call a Malson, a group of people from across the sea who are looked down upon. Ars shocks everyone by giving the kid some bread, prompting questions about why he would help a Malson. Ars wonders about the kid's well-being when he starts crying, only to be shocked by the kid's amazing stats revealed by his appraisal ability. The kid, named Wright, thanks Ars for the bread and leaves, but Ars decides to follow him despite the warning not to from the kid. Wright was taken aback when Ars asked him to be his retainer. Ars' plan is to utilize Wright's appraisal ability to recruit the best individuals he can find in order to strengthen his domain. Ars reveals that he is the son of the Lord of the Land and sees great potential in Wright. Despite only just meeting, Ars doesn't disclose his ability to write, simply stating that he has a good feeling about him. Wright mentions that he is a Malin and doesn't want to cause trouble, but Ars assures him that he will handle everything. Despite Wright's initial refusal, Ars is worried he may never encounter someone with such remarkable stats again, so he pursues him. Hearing Wright's stomach growling, Ars persuades him to come to his house where they have an exceptional chef. Ars had hoped to treat Wright to a feast, but the prejudice against the Malin people is strong, resulting in the chef only serving Wright some beans and the servants asking him to leave once he finishes. Ars remains optimistic. He surprises everyone by offering to share his food instead of changing their beliefs. The servants try to intervene, but Ars silences them by pointing out that Ree is his honored guest. They apologize and agree to give the kid more food. Wright then reveals his past as part of a mercenary group that disbanded after many members died in battle. He has been wandering aimlessly since then, unable to find work due to his lack of accomplishments. Despite the servants thinking it's time for Wright to leave, Ars refuses to send him away and decides to make him his retainer. A servant warns that R's father will disapprove, and indeed, Raven expresses his disbelief at the idea of having a Malin as a retainer. However, R believes in Wright's potential and requests to test his abilities to prove his worth for Lamberg's future. Rs reminds his father about his exceptional instinct, so Raven agrees to test the kid. If he proves himself to be talented, then Raven promises to employ him as a soldier. Starting as a soldier isn't as good as being R's retainer, but Rs is sure that Wright will be able to make a name for himself very soon, considering just how amazing his stats are. Just then, Rs is shocked as Raven reveals that he will fight Wright in a mock duel for the test. Wright will only win if he defeats him. Rs points out that Wright is only 14 years old and he is not sure if he will be able to win against Raven, as he was blessed with God-given skill in battle. Rs is still confident in Wright, but the kid's prowess isn't as high as his father's. Raven explains that they won't fight on even footing and he will give Wright a handicap. This sounds okay, so the guys agree. Before the fight, Wright wonders if Rs is doing all this for a favor out of pity. Rs offers to call off the fight if Wright doesn't want to be his retainer, but Wright explains that he would be honored. It's the best offer he has ever received in his entire life, but it's just too unbelievable. Rs assures him by declaring that he needs Wright. Rs will be the lord of the land one day, so when that time comes, he wants Wright by his side. Wright is inspired and promises to do his best. Outside, the other soldiers are shocked to see a Malson. Raven instructs him to take a practice sword and explains that Wright will win if he can land a blow against him before time runs out. Rs acknowledges that his father has the highest prowess stat in the land, but Wright just needs to land one blow, so he might have a chance to win. The two fighters introduce themselves. Raven asks Wright to demonstrate his skills in a fight. As they begin, Wright quickly realizes that even with practice swords, Raven's attacks are incredibly powerful and could easily defeat him. Wright is amazed by Raven's speed and ability to maintain his strength while attacking. Raven pushes Wright back, causing him to lose hope as he realizes his father's superior power. However, the other soldiers are impressed by Wright's performance, even when Raven goes easy on them. They struggle to hold on to their swords, let alone land a blow on Raven. However, they are surprised to see that the Malcon, Wright, is able to keep up with Raven's pace. It becomes clear that Raven is not holding back and is giving his all in the fight. Wright is sent flying by Raven's attack, and the soldiers believe that there is no way he can defeat the land's greatest swordsman. Time is running out, but Wright remembers the advice of Rs. Determined, Wright declares that he will do his best. Rs is surprised to see the change in Wright's expression. Wright launches an attack, but Raven is able to predict his movements. Everyone is shocked when Wright almost lands a blow on Raven. However, Raven explains that the fight is over. Wright realizes that there is still some time left, but the fight has ended for a different reason. The onlookers are astonished to realize that Wright's attack actually grazed Raven. Raven declares that Wright has won. Rs knew that his friend was talented, and Raven keeps his promise to allow Wright to become a soldier. Raven acknowledges that Rs was correct in his assessment. He recognizes that Rs has true talent and predicts that he has the potential to become an exceptional swordsman in the future. However, Raven also reveals that he was initially worried about how Rs would fare in the uncertain future. But recent events have changed his perspective, and he now believes that Rs will become a great man. He could even become a powerful noble or maybe even the emperor, although Raven jokingly dismisses the latter as too lofty of a goal for someone from a small domain. As long as Rs continues to carry on the family name, Raven will be happy. Rita's impressive performance has won over all the soldiers, who now seek fighting tips from him. Rs is amazed by Rita's growth and learns that he has taken on servant duties to help out as much as he can. Rs cautions him not to overdo it, considering their small domain. However, for Rita, having a lord to serve is like a dream come true. He expresses gratitude towards Rs for saving him from a life on the streets and vows to spend the rest of his life repaying this debt. Rs is pleased with the start of his journey to build the strongest domain. Thank you for watching the recap, and if you want to show support to the channel, feel free to sign up for my free newsletter.